Well, if you're among those looking for a career change in the new year, things may have changed since the last time you applied and interviewed for a job. I know they have for me. Recruitment expert Chris Dardis from Verseek is here with some tips before you start the search. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
I haven't applied for a job in a long time, so and frankly, I'm glad that I don't need to, but there were some things on this list that were kind of new to me. One of which is January is a good time to find a job.
January is one of the best times to find a job for two reasons. Number one, we're past that holiday slowdown. Thanksgiving through the holiday season slows down simply because hiring managers aren't in the office. So now they get back in January and they're raring to go. Secondly, typically January is the beginning of a new fiscal year for a lot of companies, and so number one, they want to get those positions filled as quickly as they can be, so they have a strong first and second quarter, and then also budgets are refreshed, so they have new money to spend now.
So when you're talking about some of these jobs that are coming up right now, what kind of jobs are you talking about? Not necessarily the hot jobs, because we're going to get to that in a little bit, but when you say January is a good month, jobs are opening, in what fields?
So what we're seeing is, we'll go into this in a little more detail, but STEM, everything in the STEM field, so science, technology, engineering, and math, similar to the previous story that was just on, that will remain hot in 2018.
Okay. Well, so let's say you're a dinosaur like me. I haven't changed a job in a long time, and all of a sudden I find myself needing to.
Yes.
Please, I don't want to deal with that. But there are some things that you need to make sure you do if you're gonna.
Yep, number one. Have you heard of LinkedIn?
Yes.
So LinkedIn.
I'm not good at it, but I've heard of it.
Okay. In my opinion, that's the number one tool that you can use in a job search. I, as a recruiter at Verseek, vet 100% of the candidates I'm looking at through LinkedIn. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, make one. If you do have a LinkedIn account, go in there and make sure the summary speaks to the type of role that you're looking for. Make sure your title is updated, and then also know that there's a couple cool capabilities within LinkedIn. Number one, you should search out and follow industry groups. That will allow you to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of jobs within that specific industry. And then secondly, if you publish anything to the web, so you write blogs, maybe you're on the television a lot or something like that, you can actually link those appearances into your LinkedIn account.
Yeah. And you also have to make sure your resume is updated.
Yeah, resume is still important. The trend that we're seeing within resume now is it's not just about job duties, but it's more about accomplishments. And then the second thing I would say is, every time you are applying to a role, make sure you're crafting your resume specific to that role, so keywords within the job description can be found within your resume as well.
I have found in both this industry, and I think maybe in any industry, you can speak to that networking is so key.
I would say 70% of the time when somebody gets a job, it's typically because they know somebody within that specific company that's helped champion them. So this is the fun part too. Like, you have to ignite your network if you're looking for a new job. So number one, reach out to people that you trust and you respect, and let them know that you're looking for a new job. Secondly, I would say, make a target list. So list out 10 to 15 companies that you really would like to work for, and then do a little research on LinkedIn to see if you know anybody within those companies, and ask for a hand, ask for a cup of coffee. And then thirdly, I would say, reach out to a specialized recruiter within your industry, because it's our job to know hiring managers and broker those introductions for sure.
Real quick before we go, we have some college interns here, probably going to be looking for jobs soon. If you're in the marketplace right now for a job, what's hot?
So what's hot right now, as I said before, is STEM jobs. So anything in science, technology, engineering, and math. So if you're talking about being a biomedical engineer, if you're talking about electrical and mechanical engineering, that's going to be hot. Anything with analyst in the title is going to be hot heading into the new year too. Outside of STEM, what we're seeing, because of our aging population, anything within the home healthcare profession is a big deal. And then for me, luckily, because of all these companies that are hiring, recruiters and talent acquisition people are big right now too.
Unfortunately for our journalism interns, they're out of luck. Chris, thanks so much for the advice.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. You can find his advice and a link to Verseek on KARE11.com.